This is a GAD TV video. Hello viewers and subscribers to my channel, GAD TV. As promised, this is the first one of the Mandatory Work Programme dished out by Departments of Work and Pensions on behalf of the Secretary of State. Slavery. Anyway, I'm making my way there. It's just after 9 o'clock. I've got to be there at 10 o'clock. But I'm not going to rush, because I don't see any point in it at the end of the day, because all I'm doing is helping out a charity move furniture about. Oh, what fun that is going to be. My trusty steed also taking a break from my pedaling, my pushing, my steering. Rest, old faithful steed, rest. Well, first up, I'm out of bed, so I thought I'd take a break on my favourite spot, by the rocks. My favourite spot, by the rocks. Because he's a poet, he's a poet. Well, I made it to over the bridge now. Well, I've made it over the bridge. Now it's just coming up at 20 past 9 or 9:30, something like that. And I've still got a bit of a way to go. But I'm knackered, worn out, just for that little bit. Catching my breath, because I have to climb up the hill to come over the bridge. So I'm having a little breather before going along all the streets to set placement or place of forced enslavement. Well, I made it into town, well, near enough anyway. Not far from Asda, actually. So I ain't got far to go now, and it's 9:30. So it looks like I'm going to be a little bit early, just as well, because that way I can do a final shot for today. Or no, I mean not just the final shot, maybe a few more during the day of day 1 of mandatory slavery, because that's what it is. Oh, with blackmail thrown in as good measure. So, not far now. Good exercise, get on your bike. And there it is, the place for my enslavement for the next 4 weeks, Sedgemoor's Furnishings. So, I'll fill you in as the day goes on, how we get on. Well, it is now lunchtime here at the place of enslavement or forced enslavement. Well, it's not too bad. I mean, it's for charity. Who cares anyway? Anyway, I did notice on the thing though that the hours that you have to do. It says that as voluntary, your hours are flexible. Because it's charity, your hours are flexible. But yet you still have to fill your quota for the DWP, basically. So you have to do your hours. So at the moment we're just hanging around. There's not much happening at the moment. So that's what we'll do for a little while, just hang about and see what happens. I say we're on a lunch break for half an hour. So well, that's day one completed of this so-called mandatory work placement. I'm now on my way home and it's just coming up to 5 o'clock. It's just, over, and it's 10 past 5. So not far to go home now. Still don't like it because it says about flexible hours in the such more services or furniture documents. It says about hours are flexible and that to be arranged with the so-called boss person, boss lady in this case, D. Right, but yet on this mandatory work placement scheme, you got to complete a certain amount of hours. Yeah, that's what it is. And the way I see it is, you don't have much choice. So really, it contradicts itself slightly. So like, people still look at you funny when you're videoing yourself. Look. Anyway, how did it go? Well, very slow. Didn't actually do a lot except move a few bits about, and I couldn't pick one chair up with some other guy and had to use one-handed. Then they realised that something wasn't quite what it should be. Because you're supposed to use both hands to pick up and bend your knees. Well, at the moment, if I bend my knees to do something, I'm likely to fall over and not get up again. Anyway, enough of rambling now. I've got to head on now. Well, end of day one, I'm home. And neighbours. And I can't tell you how glad I am to be home. So this is the end of day one. Tomorrow's another day. Day two of mandatory slavery program. Here we go again. I'll keep plugging bits in and there everywhere. Let's see what light duties they have in store for me today, if any. Yes, because that's what I can do. Because of my bad foot and my upstream asthma, I have to be careful, you see. But then again, I wasn't supposed to go to the furniture bank in the first place, was I? No. Oh well. But then again, the job centre don't give a shit anyway. So I mentioned it to them, and their basic answer was, you're going whether you like it or not. So I'm off. Well, I don't have to be there till 10 o'clock, but it's 8:52 now, and I got to my favourite little drop-off point for a little rest here, and we're getting spots of rain. According to the weather forecast, it's supposed to be cloudy, mostly cloudy all day. Yes, never mentioned about rain, and yet earlier this morning, around about 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, something like that, We had a downpour. Yes. Just goes to show you that even the Met Office can get the weather right. So who are we supposed to trust and rely on for information these days? I'll tell you who. The alternative media. That's who you should trust. Yeah, they still do it. Have a good look because you're not on camera. But it's true, isn't it? Who are you supposed to trust? You can't trust the mainstream media to give you a good, decent weather forecast, or the Met Office. So who are you to trust? You can't trust the government because they lie to you. Yeah, and they tell you things that, you know, that are supposed to be good for you, and they're supposed to look out for your interests, but they don't. So the best thing to do is to soldier on and do it yourself, basically. You want any information about anything, go check it out online for yourself. Don't bother asking the government or anything, because they don't bloody know, and they couldn't fix a freaking problem if it's jumped up and bit them in the nose, or on the nose, should I say? Because they can't fix anything. Politicians are practically useless. Give them a problem and they'll run a mile. Oh, I don't know how to fix it. Oh, I better go ask somebody else. Well, I've sitting in the staff room having nut lunch, and there's two other guys here on the so-called 6 months program where they got to not only do this, but they also got to do the universal job search 2 hours a day, and then they also, after they got to go to Taunton to do another stint of 4 hours of searching for a job in Taunton. That's over 12 miles away from where we are now. I mean, it just goes to show you that the so-called government just doesn't give a shit. They really don't. They don't care. They force people to do this without realising they're actually breaking High Court ruling, and that's just not on. And plus, not only that, they blackmail you into doing it, because if you don't do it, you get your benefits stopped completely, and on the one they're onto, they can be sanctioned up to 3 years if they fail to complete the course. Don't say my wife, you could check it out online. Okay, people in this country are being forced into slavery, and companies are picking up and using them as free labour. Well, this one, you know, it's a charity base, you know, it's a non-profit organisation, Say Small Furnishing, so I don't mind doing it. But there are people there, you know, that are out there doing it for big companies and that, and these big companies are cashing in on the free labour. Yeah, exactly. And yet, to tell you the truth, what people don't realise is that them companies actually get paid to have them workers there. In other words, the companies, these like Boots and Poundland and Tesco's, get bribes from the government to take on these people. They get a allowance. I think it's anything up to £554 for 6 months. You know, come on. Corruption, forced labour, infringements of human rights, blackmail thrown in. It's not on, people. Your government don't give two shits about you. You're just a bloody slave to them. Wake up. End of day 2. I had home and I'm choking. I'm really tight dressed at the moment. Obviously it's what's happening. Asthma. But anyway, so I'm sat down here having a little breather in town. Nice flower bed in front of me. Well, I'm on my way home. I'm sat on the rocks having a little breather, and during the day I got a phone call from family members saying my wife has had a slight accident on a bike. She's busted her arm apparently, and now has to go to Musgrove and have the whole thing plated up apparently. Oh dear, that doesn't sound good to me. That means somebody's got to stay home. Yeah. Let's hope it's not that bad, but I don't know. We oldies get frail when we get older. Anyway, I'm sat on the rocks having a break. I'm going to mosey on home, so I'll sign off for today. Day number 2 is over and done with. Oh yeah, they listening to some of the chatter there. Okay, at one time when they had people come turning up, they had a guy turn up in a wheelchair, a double amputee. He had one arm and one leg, and the so-called Dole office sent him on this mandatory works program, or one of them, to works fair one, to carry out work and get some experience with one arm and one leg and in a wheelchair. Yeah, it just goes to show, you see, that this government and this so-called system and the Queen and all that, they don't give two shits about you. You're just there. You're just their slaves. Going blurred. Go over. Just after 9 o'clock, day 3 of mandatory slavery work placement, and let's see what it's going to be like today. It's not a bad day today. It's not raining. It's a nice, mild, cloudy day. Gonna get sore butt again riding this bike, but hey, gotta have some transport. We'll see what we're up to today after messing about with electronics yesterday and all that sort of thing. I expect we'll be doing that again because I'm on light duties and taking cushions, settee cushions off and all that. You know, very interesting. So we'll see what we get on. See what happens today. Yeah. That's not bad. Just timed myself from the house to the rocks. It's taking me approximately 8 minutes because I left about 9 o'clock. And it's taking me 8 minutes. Give it a minute or two. I would say about 7 minutes because I had to do a double take on the shot. And then and as you can see, and that's pushing it a little bit. On a bike that can only go in one gear. Not bad. It's now 9:29, so that's not bad. Half an hour to get to town from there on the bike. So that's not too bad because I had to stop, as you know, and I'll probably won't stop now until I get to my place of enslavement for the next 3 and a bit week now, because I've nearly completed one. as this is the third day. So let's see how it goes during the day. Not bad, half an hour. Oh. "9:39 and I'm here. And 20 in my practice now, doing the bike up. Don't look good. It's now 11:15 and we've been here open at 10, and at the moment we haven't done anything except stand around and look like lemons, basically. Still, it's all part of the experience, I suppose. Quarter to 5, end of day 3 of this so-called mandatory enslavement placement, and I'm knackered already. This is as far as I got so far from the warehouse to here, because it's the wind's face coming wind, or coming wind, whatever, and it's right in front of your face, and it's taking the breath out of me already. Anyway, still good day, bit boring, not much doing today. Never mind, it'll all come out in the wash eventually. Well, day 4 of the mandatory slavery program is ended, because we've had to re-sign on for ESA. My wife's busted her arm pretty bad. It's going to be bad for quite some time, so I've got to become, you could say, a house husband for a while. So here endeth a video about the mandatory works program for or placement, should I say, for the time being, because I've had to sign off at the door as well. Yes. All the things I've said in this video are not hinted at the people of Sedgemoor Furnishings whatsoever. It's more to do with the way that the system and the government are ruling over everybody and forcing people to do things that really are totally against the law and also totally against your human rights. It's got nothing to do with Sedgemoor Furnishings whatsoever. They're really a bunch of people when I was there, so I put my thumbs up to them. They do a bloody good job, and I wouldn't mind going back and doing some more for them. Well done, guys, brilliant job, enjoyed every minute of it. And also I learned something that I might be able to do from it, and that is pat testing. I quite enjoyed that, man. That was very interesting, and I've looked it up online, and yes, I might be able to do it and get a City and Guilds to go with it. Now, I've got nothing against people volunteering to do work when they actually put themselves forward to doing voluntary work. But what this video is mainly getting at is the fact that big corporations, when it's to do with the government, take advantage of the free labour that is available, and big companies use that excuse to save themselves money to make more profit on the backs of free labour. That's what it's all about. It's nothing to do with the fact that, you know, the government programme and that, and getting people back into a routine of work and that. The fact is that big corporations, such like, we won't mention any names, we better not because of legal reasons, but those big companies jump on the bandwagon just to have free labour, so they don't have to employ anybody full-time to do the job in the first place. So they take advantage of people and use them. Basically, just use them for profit. And that's not on. So this video is more about getting out the government's back to work programs and that, because one thing they're good, especially if it's for charities such as the one I did, so Sedgemoor Furnishings and that's for charity, that's for non-profitable company, right, doing good for the community, supplying furniture for those who can ill afford to buy from bigger corporations like DFS and places like that, or IKEA, who people can't afford that sort of stuff, and it's for people on low income to go to. But I did see people turn up there in rather posh cars and buy furniture as well. But we won't go down that road, will we? No, because it is a community thing, and if there's something there you like, well, why not? You know, if you've got the money to buy it, buy it. It all helps the charity at the end of the day. But the point what I'm making is that the government has set up these fair work schemes and big corporations are jumping on the bandwagon. Oh yeah, we'll do that, yeah, we'll help out, yeah, free labour and save ourselves money. But the government actually do pay these companies money on these work fair schemes and back to work, the mandatory work programs and that. When it's charity based, I approve. When it's big corporations, I disapprove, because they are just making money off of someone else's back and using up the free labour that's available, and they don't have to pay for it. They get paid to take them on. It works the other way around then. And those that do it have still got to get their dole money, still got to search for a job, and still have to sign on and get ridiculed and get sanctioned if they don't apply or carry out what the rulings are. Yes. So what do I think of the scheme? Half and half, right? But the main part of it is thumbs down for big corporations. They shouldn't have anything to do with it. When it's community based, such as Sedgemoor Furnishings and other charities and all that, yes, I agree with it. So, if you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe to GAD TV, the most family-friendly channel on YouTube. Anybody can watch what we do, because we always try to make it nice and clean, without any swearing. So, don't forget to get subscribing to GAD TV, the best channel on YouTube. If you subscribe to the channel, then you can keep up to date with all that goes up on the channel. See you soon. Don't forget, subscribing is the best way to keep up to date.